I've just seen this news about Google firing its diversity employee or employer or whatever. There we go. A Google employee who wrote a controversial memo about workplace diversity has been fired, the BBC can confirm. The controversial memo broke the firm's code of conduct. Google's chief executive, Sundar Pichai, or whatever he said on Monday in an email to employees. The thing that I'm getting really tired of is there is this massive attack on Silicon Valley. And I believe now that the women that are trying to get into Silicon Valley, is it an organization that was built by men, started by the mighty HP. I believe that Silicon Valley is going to fall, and it's going to fall because of one thing: the influx of these women coming into Silicon Valley, and they're going to destroy it. I think something is going to hopefully one day garner some guys to say, you know what, we're going to move away from Silicon Valley and we're going to open another Silicon Valley somewhere in America, because that's really the only place that at this moment in time that it can be really opened up. But another Silicon Valley will be opened up specifically by men, by tech men. Because, the funny thing is, there is a company called Incubators or something like that, set up by women venture capitalists. And apparently, I'm just going to show you these let's have a look. I did see it. Here we go. It's here. Silicon Valley women have spoken. Now what? So I'll just take you to that page. And here we go. Just look at the typical fucking hags cackling as they normally do and talking shit amongst themselves. Here we go. Let me just go. I just hate seeing this picture. I really, really do. But I'm just going to scroll down. Here we go. For instance, look at this. The ex-employee of Uber, Susan Fowler, who went along bitching and moaning about the company and all this kind of fucking nonsense that goes on. Uber, a company set up by men, two men, have brought in a massive, new, innovative system. And all you constantly get is women coming into a business and bitching about a company that was set up by these guys. Okay? And what do they want to do? They want to destroy Uber, so it goes into the ground, it doesn't exist, and someone else comes in and brings out is it Lilt, or what you call it, to take over. What is it they want? This is a company that brought out this innovation, and they've gone out of their way now to get rid of one of the most dynamic chief executives in the world, and they've done it. They've done what they wanted to do, get rid of someone who could have driven this company. He was driving this company more and more. And where is Uber going to go now? Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Look at this firm here. Uh, these arsehole bitches. Why combiners or whatever we call it, female founders conference. Now, look at the apparently it was made them famous. Here we go, typical utter bitch. You know, men are, you know, the innovators in this world. I don't care what anybody says. Men are the innovators in this world. Okay. Men are the innovators in this world, not women. I don't care what anybody says. Why don't women, if they're so pissed off with Silicon Valley and they hate the Silicon Valley, why don't they go to another part of America and say, we women are going to set up our own Silicon Valley here in a nice sunny part of America or whatever it is. I'm sure they'll be successful there. But no, they don't want to do that. They consistently always want to have handouts given to them. These women must always be protected. They must have handouts. You know, they don't want to set anything up themselves. This is the same thing. This is the same thing with black people. You know, they say in America, black people are not as successful as they could be. No, because they constantly always put their hand out and say, white man, give me more money. Give me more money. You've got to be setting up all these things for us. If black people and if white women want to be successful, they have to do things themselves. Let me show you who are these Y combinators or what that stupid name. I mean, even the name is stupid. Here you go. Y Combinator is a tech incubator program that twice a year takes on a bunch of promising startups, gives them about 100 grand and coaches them to potential success. It has spawned several successes such as Dropbox, Reddit, and payment firm Stripe. Now, if that's the case, Dropbox, I believe, was set up by a man. Reddit is set up by a man. And payment Stripe is, again, was founded by a man. Let's find out. Let's find out, shall we? Because it's quite interesting. Because the reason why I'm really getting very, very annoyed and pissed off with this, you know, with women who are in, you know, these firms and they seem to want to destroy. I mean, look at Marvel, for instance. They're coming out with all this diversity crap and shit. Nobody's buying the magazines because they're dropping like flies. They bring out these diverse magazines with all the women and all the black people and all this kind of shit and nonsense. And the people who normally buy the comics, who they're trying to force onto, are reading it for 1 or 2 issues and then just dropping it. You know, you can't be forcing people who don't want to read your, social justice warrior shitty magazines. Force your narrative on them because they're not buying it. They're walking away. Here we go. Dropbox is a file hosting service operated by American company Dropbox. And that offers cloud storage. Blah blah blah. Let's have a look to see who the founders are. History. Okay, here we go. Ooh, it looks like 2 geezers set it up. Dropbox founder Drew Houston conceived the Dropbox concept after repeatedly forgetting his USB flash drive while he was a student at MIT. Now, this is a geezer. Okay. Now, this is the guy here, founder, Drew. I thought Drew, it was a girl, but obviously it's a geezer. Drew Houston. And here's the other geezer. I can't pronounce his name, but two guys. So, this is who these why people. Let's click on these. Let's find out who these hags are. He's an American seed escalator, started in March 2005. Blah 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 blah. Let's have a look. Let's scroll, see if we see who the bitches are. Oh, hold on a minute. Paul Graham, Jessica Livingston, Robert Trevor, Robert Morrison, Trevor Blackwell. Hold on a minute, I thought this was a female setup. Let's have a look. Let's scroll down. Let's see. Let's have a look. So these are companies that invested in Dropbox, Airbnb, Coinbase, Stripe, Reddit, okay, Twitch TV, Weeble, don't use them, load of shit, Paribas, don't know who they are, Machine Zone. Okay, let's scroll down. History, let's have a look. Y Combinator was started in 2005 by this guy, Paul Graham, Jessica Livingston, Trevor Blackwell, and this guy, Robert Morrison. Now, the thing is, what I can't understand, there was one woman in there. Okay, let's go through here. People was founded in 2005 by Paul, this woman, as well as with whom Paul previously co-owned ViWeb. In early 2010, I don't know who this person, co-founder of WIG, funded whoever it was, and joined as an advisor. Alex, co-founder, backed Reddit. Let's have a look who this guy is here. So I don't understand what this has got to do with. This is not a female-owned. It seems to me it's sort of men and women. So there you go. Here's a geezer. I'm confused. Serena. Oh, this is the guy who set up Reddit and who's married to Serena Williams. Okay. So this is a load of shit. Really is a shit. I mean, let me just look through this. Because the way it seems as if it was, it was founded by women, and it's not. It wasn't founded by women. It was founded by a majority of men. There was one woman that was in there. So I just don't understand. Again, you see, unless you look through these things properly, I mean, the only woman that really seems to be there is this Miss Livingston. Let's have a look. I've spoken. What now? So blah blah blah. So the person who's really talking shit here is this Livingston woman. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, but that may be changing if the mood at the Y Combinator, I can't pronounce the name, female founders conference is anything to go by. I mean, this is a load of fucking shit. This was started up by majority of guys and one woman. So I just look. I've been waffling on since I've tried to do this. The reason why I'm waffling on is because I'm really sick and tired of this constant hearing these constant stories that Silicon Valley is a place of, it's a sexist place. It's a place that doesn't, women can't seem to get on easily in. You know what? I don't give a shit. The reason why I don't give a shit is because Silicon Valley was set up by men in the late 1930s. And it was set up by HP in a very small alley. You can read up about it. It's quite fascinating how this company has come over the year and has been a massive innovator right up to this day. So the point is, if women really want to get into Silicon Valley, my personal view is I think they should stop this bitching. Or set up your own Silicon Valley for women and women only. And then you become your own innovators in your own area. But women don't want to do that. Women don't want to get off their arse and set up a company on their own. They want everybody to do it for them, and then they step in after all the work is done. Why do you think that the feminist bitches out there are wanting to step into all these big, massive companies in America? HP, Microsoft, Apple, Compaq, Dell, etc., etc. They're advocating that all these companies should have half the board should be women. Why? Why? Women need to be very careful because men are starting to realize that they live in a society now that is constantly banging on, especially about the white male. He's a complete and total bastard. Whatever your views about the white male, and I have my views on him, you cannot, you have to admit that the innovations that we have today are due to the white man's intellect. So black people and women should really do what the Japanese have done. The Chinese were whipped in World War II, and they realized the power of the white man from the two bombs that were dropped on their ass. And so the Japanese realized that there's no point in trying to beat the white man. What we should do is learn everything that you can from them. And that is the way that you can climb above them and beat them. And that's what the Japanese have been doing for years. Yes, they admire the Americans, the American white. And they strive to be like America and beyond. Okay, the Chinese have come to realize that now, that the way in which to beat the West is by intellectually, by becoming intellectually more superior, and they're already showing that in a lot of Asian, Chinese and Japanese and Singapore and South Koreans. They're showing their intellect more and more by pushing their children intellectually, and that's why their IQ scores are so much higher than everybody else's. Um, so, so what I'm saying to women out there is this: I know what you are trying to do, and that's to destroy Silicon Valley, because Silicon Valley is seen as a bro organization or bro area. But if you destroy Silicon Valley, what is going to replace it? Are women going to come in and be real tech innovators in Silicon Valley? At this moment in time, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Women in Silicon Valley need to stop bitching and understand that they are in a very tough, hard environment. I don't care that if some of these women go to Silicon Valley and find it really tough getting seed money to start up their business. They don't have a right to it. This is what these women believe, that they have a right to that seed money. They don't. Look at Spike Lee. When he was setting up his, trying to set up, make his films in the 70s and the 80s, as a black man, he could not get any cash. He could not get a loan. But what he did, he used credit cards. He borrowed money off friends to become successful. But these bitches want to come to Silicon Valley and expect to get seed money because they're women. And if they don't get the money, it's seen as sexist. They're not being given money because they would not be successful because of that seed money. I'll tell you this: if you're not going to be successful because you don't get that seed money, you're not going to be successful anyway. If your idea is sound to the pound, it will be successful with or without that seed money. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. There are people that succeed in Silicon Valley, and there are people that fail in Silicon Valley. There are people who do get the seed money, and yet they're still shit. Whose fault is that? Because their idea is probably a load of crap. I was led to believe that Y Incubator, I think it's called, was a female-led investment company. It's not. It has one founder that was a woman, but the rest were men. The rest were men. And it really annoys me, all these, sexism claim comes out, that Chinese woman who claimed that an investment company was sexist to her. It backfired massively when the women that work for this company were coming out and saying, hold on a minute, you're talking rubbish. This is one of the best firms to work for in the world. And it transpired, in the end, she lost the case because she tried to use the sexism card. She lost the case. She's now tried to appeal the case. The company that she's even taken this out on, they stated, look, if you drop the case or don't appeal the case, we will pay your legal fees. You've lost it. No, she wants to still make out that she's a victim. For what? We're now seeing that a lot of women out there are compulsive liars, or even psychopathic in their attitude and their behaviour. Because there's a lot of women today who have always been privileged from the beginning of time. sorry. I don't care. I don't give a shit about the fact that a girl in Africa is not being given the chance to go to school because the the family feel send the boy to school. This is the amount of money that we've got. We can only afford to send one or two child. Oh no, they should give it to the girl because she is inherently more intelligent than boys. Really, if we're not careful in this society, in this the so-called West, the West is going to go tits up. It's going to go tits up. Especially the way that the feminist bitches want the West to go to. It's going to go tits up. You see, because you know what the women want? They want to be in control of every single thing. All the things that to do with like Silicon Valley. They want to be in control of Silicon Valley. Okay? The women want to be in control of the government. Okay, they want to be in control of everything in government. So there's no men working in government, only women. All the top jobs in the society, the feminists want women to have, and women only. And that they want men in the future just to be labourers. Okay? That's what they want. To be digging holes in the ground. Okay? To be going down, the sewer system, dirty sewer system. To be dustbin men, refuge men. That's what they want. And any other jobs that women feel that they want are desirable jobs that they want, that they don't want men in at all. But you see, the thing is, the feminist movement has been shouting and screaming for a number of years about the STEM subjects that girls in school seem to are not taking up. I saw a graph of where the women, at one point I think in the 80s, had gone into study for STEM subjects. Yet it slowly showed the graph going down and down and down to 2017, where fewer women are going into the STEM subjects because they are choosing not to go into those subjects. He's being fight. In America, I think or is it in the UK? 75% of women do not identify themselves as feminists. Only 25%. So why is it that this small group of bitches seem to have so much power in the governments of both in the United Kingdom, in America, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Sweden? Why do they have this power? Is it part of the eventual destruction of the West? Because the feminist movement does align itself to the occult movement, does align itself to the to satanic worship, does align itself to witchcraft. Which is not surprising. Look at the Bible. Eve was tempted by the apple to eat the apple by the snake, the devil himself. But instead she persuaded Adam, who was in love with Eve, to eat the apple. And therefore now cause all this consternation and shit that we have now in the world. That's why God punished Eve and said, you will now bear the children of the world. You will have period pains and all the other nonsense that goes with the female issue. This is your suffering to the end of time. That's why the feminist movement identifies with Eve. That's why the feminist movement says they don't believe in God. God is a he. I'm sick and tired of seeing these, these headlines. Google fires diversity author. A guy who was trying to be balanced in his, his, I mean, let's click through and see if we can read through this. It's interesting. Google employee anti-diversity memo causes row. So let's scroll down here. A Google employee's opinion criticizing the firm's diversity initiatives is causing a furore at the firm. In an internal memo, a male software engineer argued the lack of women in top tech jobs was due to biological differences between men and women. So, this internal memo, okay, software engineers could be quite bright. They're willing to lose somebody like that, who could be critical to your company, Google, yet you decide to drop kick him out of the company because he has a different view. The guy who, I think he's a founding member, or he was in Firefox, I'm not sure. He had designed, not Linux. Was it Linux? Oh, there was something, he designed something very key. And he was against gay marriage. And there was a massive war when he sent a donation to an organization by another people. He sent a personal check of his own money, not of the company's money or anybody else's money, his own money, and it was leaked that he'd given a donation to this anti-gay marriage before the gay marriage had come in America. And he ended up having to leave the firm because there were people who were writing him and who said, I'm totally disappointed in you that you have this view about gay marriage. And he was saying, I have my personal opinion. Doesn't mean that it means that I can't stop. I will stop working with you. We come to do a job and leave our personal differences alone. He had not leaked this onto the company. Somebody else had leaked the fact that he had donated money. I think it was $1,000 to the this anti-marriage, gay marriage organization that was trying to stop the bill. And this is the society that we're beginning to live in today. It's a terrible, and it's getting really nasty now. Look at the Breakfast Club, for instance. A guy who was talking about transsexuals, and he had his view that if a transsexual did not report to him that she was in fact a transsexual, he would kill that person. Now, the guy, I think it's something called Laura Bron, the God, some nonsense, said, hold up a minute. You can't be advocating killing people. You can't be doing that. And he stated that. Yet, the next thing you know, when this guy went to do, I think it was on Politicon, he was having a debate, he was being invited to come to there, sit down and talk about it. These trannies, black trannies, stood up and started screaming and shouting at him on stage, stating that he had not berated this guy enough. I can't remember his name, he was a singer or something, a black singer. and that he had not, been forceful enough in his condemnation of this black man, statement that he would kill someone, i.e., a transsexual, if that transsexual did not own up to being originally a man and now supposedly so-called transferred themselves into a woman, so-called woman. I mean, yeah, right. I've got my views on that. I'll do another video on that. The point was that they were blaming this presenter, who, when you actually see the full video, it blows their arguments straight out of the water. I think they were asking him to apologise. And he said, I'm not going to apologise for his opinion and view. He actually stood up and said, no, you can't be advocating killing people on that. And the singer said, well, he wouldn't actually kill them, but he wouldn't be happy about it. This is the problem with especially the transsexual community. They're very nasty people to deal with. They go way, way over the top, and I just think it's not good, and they're not helping themselves. You can't go onto a stage and scream and shout at people because they've got a different view, and also accuse someone of something where he didn't do. Yeah, all I'm saying is, look, Google. I don't know why you feel you need to, just because someone's got a different view. Let me do this. Let me just pause this because I need